What if every no you hear is not a wall, but a hidden doorway? Most people treat rejection as proof they failed, but skilled negotiators hear something different: information. Each no can reveal fear, timing, doubt, or an unmet need. When you stop taking rejection personally and start reading what hides behind it, you gain control. Today you'll discover how to turn objections into leverage, rebuild confidence after refusal, and use every no as a step toward a stronger yes in real negotiations. This is the first psychological secret of no. Rejection is not always a refusal of you. Many times, it is a signal of uncertainty. The human brain often says no when it does not feel safe yet. We reject what feels risky, confusing, expensive, unfamiliar, or emotionally uncomfortable. In negotiation, a no can mean, "I do not trust this yet, I need more information, I am afraid of making a mistake," or "this does not match my priorities right now." In everyday life, this happens constantly. You invite a friend to start a project, and they say no. You ask for a better price, and the seller says no. You offer an idea at work, and your boss says no. The first instinct is to feel personally rejected. But the stronger move is to ask, what is this no protecting? Maybe your friend is protecting time. Maybe the seller is protecting profit. Maybe your boss is protecting the company from risk. When you understand what the no is protecting, you stop fighting the word and start solving the fear behind it. And here is the curious twist. Sometimes a no gives you more power than a yes. A fast yes can be shallow. People may agree just to avoid discomfort. But a no often reveals the real barrier. It shows you where the hidden door is locked. And once you know where the lock is, you have a chance to find the key. Now picture a salesperson who calls a client and gets rejected in the first 10 seconds. The client says, "I am not interested." Most people would apologize and end the call. But an experienced negotiator does something different. He does not argue. He does not pressure. He calmly says, "That makes sense. Is it because this is not a priority right now? Or because you have already solved this problem?" The conversation continues, not because the client suddenly loves the offer, but because the client feels understood instead of attacked. This is the second power of no. It lowers resistance when handled correctly. Psychologically, people hate feeling trapped. The moment someone feels pushed, their mind starts defending itself. This reaction is called psychological reactance. It is the inner resistance that appears when we feel our freedom is being threatened. That is why aggressive persuasion often fails. The harder you push someone toward yes, the more they protect their right to say no. But when you allow someone to say no, something surprising happens. They feel safer. They feel in control. And when people feel in control, they often become more open. This is why phrases like, "You can say no if this does not make sense," or "Would it be a bad idea to look at another option?" can be powerful. They reduce pressure. They invite honesty. They make the other person feel respected. In daily life, imagine asking someone for help. If you say, "You need to help me with this," they may resist. But if you say, "Would it be unreasonable to ask for 10 minutes of your opinion?" the person feels less cornered. The possibility of saying no actually makes saying yes feel more voluntary. The curiosity here is that no can create comfort. It sounds backwards, but it is true. When people are allowed to reject something, they often relax enough to consider it. In many situations, the path to yes begins when the other person feels safe enough to say no. Think about a job interview. A candidate applies for a position and receives an email. "We decided to move forward with another applicant." That message can feel brutal. The candidate may start questioning their talent, their intelligence, even their future. But another candidate receives the same rejection and replies, "Thank you for the opportunity. If possible, could you share one area I could improve for future applications?" One person turns rejection into identity damage. The other turns it into data. This is the third psychological transformation, separating rejection from self-worth. The brain is wired to feel social rejection deeply because, throughout human history, being rejected by the group could be dangerous. That is why a simple no can feel bigger than it really is. It can activate shame, fear, anger, or the feeling of not being enough. But mentally strong people learn to separate the event from the identity. They do not say, "I was rejected, so I am a failure." They say, "This specific offer at this specific time with this specific person did not work." That difference changes everything. Rejection becomes less like a verdict and more like feedback. It may still hurt, but it does not define you. It becomes a moment, not a mirror. In everyday life, this matters when you send a message and do not get a reply. When someone declines your invitation. When a client chooses another provider. When a person does not return your interest. The insecure interpretation is, something is wrong with me. The stronger interpretation is, there are many possible reasons, and I can learn from this without destroying my confidence. And here is the retention twist. The people who succeed the most are often not the people who hear fewer no's. They are the people who recover faster from them. A person who is terrified of rejection may make 10 attempts and stop. A person who understands rejection may make 100 attempts, improve each time, and eventually appear lucky. But it was not luck. It was emotional recovery turned into strategy. Now imagine a negotiator sitting across from a business owner. The owner says, "Your price is too high." A beginner immediately panics and offers a discount. But a skilled negotiator hears a different message. Too high does not always mean too expensive. Sometimes it means, I do not see enough value yet. So instead of lowering the price, the negotiator asks, compared to what? That question changes the entire conversation. This is the fourth secret of no. Objections are often unclear requests in disguise. When someone says no, they may not be rejecting the entire proposal. They may be rejecting one part, one condition, one risk, or one unanswered question. The problem is that most people treat every objection as a complete rejection. They hear, too expensive, and think the deal is dead. They hear, not now, and think there is no chance. They hear, I need to think, and assume failure. Psychologically, objections are a way for the brain to slow down a decision. Humans do not like uncertainty, especially when money, reputation, time, or emotion is involved. So the mind creates a barrier: price, timing, trust, complexity, fear of regret. A good negotiator does not attack the barrier. He studies it. In daily life, if someone says, I do not have time, the real objection may be priority. If someone says, I do not have money, the real objection may be perceived value. If someone says, I am not ready, the real objection may be fear of making the wrong choice. The words matter, but the reason behind the words matters more. The curious twist is that an objection can be a sign of interest. People rarely object deeply to things they do not care about at all. If someone asks questions, challenges details, or expresses concerns, they may still be mentally engaged. Silence can be more dangerous than resistance. A no, with reasons, gives you something to work with. A person who explains their objection is showing you the exact bridge you need to build. Now picture a child learning to ride a bike. The child falls once and says, I can't do it. The parent has two choices. One is to say, don't be dramatic, just try again. The other is to say, you fell because balance takes practice. That fall taught your body something. The same event becomes either failure or training, depending on the interpretation. This is the fifth power of no, reframing. Reframing means changing the meaning you give to an experience. The event may be the same, but the psychological impact changes. Rejection can mean humiliation, or it can mean direction. It can mean stop forever, or it can mean change your approach. It can mean they do not value me, or it can mean I have not matched their need yet. The mind reacts not only to what happens, but to the story you tell about what happens. If your story is, every no proves I am not good enough, you will avoid risk. You will speak less, ask less, negotiate less, and settle for less. But if your story is, every no teaches me how reality responds, you become harder to break. You become curious instead of ashamed. In daily life, this applies to dating, business, content creation, sales, friendships, and personal growth. If you post a video and nobody watches, you can say, people hate my content. Or you can ask, was the title weak? Was the hook slow? Was the topic unclear? One interpretation kills momentum. The other creates improvement. And here is the surprising part. The brain can be trained to feel less threatened by rejection. The more you expose yourself to small, safe no's, the less terrifying they become. Asking for a discount, requesting feedback, offering an idea, starting a conversation, making a proposal. Each attempt teaches your nervous system that rejection is uncomfortable, but survivable. Over time, no stops feeling like danger and starts feeling like information. Now imagine two people trying to build a network. The first person waits for perfect conditions. They only reach out when they are sure the answer will be yes. The second person understands that rejection is part of the process. They send messages, make offers, ask questions, and follow up respectfully. After a month, the first person has avoided embarrassment. The second person has gained contacts, feedback, experience, and maybe one unexpected opportunity. This is the sixth and final psychological lesson. No becomes power when you turn it into movement. Many people freeze after rejection. They replay the moment in their mind. They imagine what they should have said. They feel embarrassed. Then they avoid the next attempt. But the real danger is not rejection itself. The real danger is allowing one rejection to stop future action. Momentum is psychological power. When you keep moving after a no, you teach your brain that rejection is not an ending. It is part of the path. This builds resilience, and resilience creates confidence. Not the fake confidence that says, everyone will accept me, but the real confidence that says, even if they reject me, I can handle it. In everyday life, this can be simple. If a client says no, you follow up later with new value. If a boss rejects your idea, you refine it and return with evidence. If a person declines an invitation, you remain calm and respectful. If your first attempt fails, you adjust the message, the timing, the audience, or the offer. You do not beg. You do not pressure. You evolve. And the final curiosity is this. Sometimes the person who says no today becomes the person who says yes later. Not because you forced them, but because you stayed composed, respectful, and valuable. Many doors do not open at the first knock. Some open after trust grows. Some open after timing changes. Some open after you improve the offer. A no can be temporary, but the way you respond to it can create a permanent impression. So the next time you hear no, pause before you label it as failure. Ask yourself, is this really the end, or is it revealing the next step? Is this rejection attacking my worth, or giving me information? Is this person refusing everything, or only one part of the offer? Is this moment closing a door, or showing me where the handle is? The psychology of no is not about pretending rejection feels good. It does not. It can hurt. It can frustrate you. It can shake your confidence for a moment. But when you understand what is happening beneath the surface, rejection loses some of its power over you. You stop reacting like a victim of the word, and you start listening like a strategist. A no can reveal fear. It can reveal value. It can reveal timing. It can reveal the weakness in your offer, the gap in your communication, or the exact point where trust is missing. And once you see that, you are no longer trapped by rejection. You are being trained by it. Maybe the most powerful people are not the ones who always get yes. Maybe they are the ones who can hear no, stay calm, stay curious, and still keep their direction. Because in the end, rejection does not only test your offer, it tests your identity. It asks, will you stop here, or will you become sharper because of this? If this video made you see rejection differently, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and tell me in the comments, what is one no in your life that, looking back now, actually pushed you towards something better?